Everyone, my name is Mickey. I'm actually Dan's pastor, and he gave me this incredible honor of emceeing, and my initials are actually MC, so it works out perfectly. But just to set the record straight, Dan and Skye are not having a physical baby. I know some people found their registry online and they're congratulating them, but they are having a metaphorical, I guess you could call it a metaphorical baby. Oaks and Crowns Startup Shower is today, and we're celebrating the birth of this beautiful organization, this beautiful program. And so we have so many exciting things planned for today. And so we hope that you guys get ready. It's going to be a day full of celebration, a day full of hearing stories and really seeing the vision that God has for Oaks and Crown, for Dan and for Skye. Are y'all hyped? Give me a thumbs up if you are. Awesome. We're going to start with a bit of an icebreaker just to get the ball rolling. And so we're going to need all of y'all to participate. And this is what we're going to do. We're going to give you 5 minutes, and you have to go grab some tinfoil or newspaper or some tape. And you have to pretty much create some sort of festive accessory that we're going to wear for this startup shower. And so we didn't have enough of a budget to give you guys party favors or hats or anything like that. So we're asking you to make your own. And so in just a second, we're going to start a 5-minute timer. You got to go find some tinfoil, some newspaper, and the person with the best and the most creative festive wear for our startup shower will win some major prop points. And so why don't we get started? Ready, set, go. And also for some dramatic effect, if you turn off your camera and reveal yourself when we all come back, that might be litty. Okay.
Turned out to be the greatest victory of my life. Cause when it comes at you fast and hard, there's only one that could come and make it right. So ain't no need for stressing and crying, cause he gon' show up just like he did the last time.
Wow, y'all serious. All your cameras are off. I can't wait to see what festive, creative things y'all create. We have just about 4 minutes, so you have a bit of time. All right, y'all, we got 3 minutes. I know some of y'all might be ready, but you have 3 minutes to make yourself look a little more extra creative or weird. If you're just rolling in, just to reset the room, we're giving y'all 3 more minutes to grab some tin foil, some newspaper, or some tape to create some sort of festive accessory that you can wear during our startup shower. So 2.5 minutes.
Oh no, 2.5 minutes, not enough time.
Don't worry, pressure creates some beautiful diamonds. I know y'all are gonna make something great.
Can't see it. Looks okay.
No, great.
For those of you who just entered, we have 2 minutes left in our icebreaker activity to go grab some tin foil and make some creative accessory that you can wear for our startup shower. 2 minutes, 15 seconds. Y'all got this.
So this is Dan's pastor.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, I'm Dan's pastor. I don't seem very pastor-like today, but it's gonna be very fun.
From San Francisco.
Awesome, y'all. 1.5 minutes left. So excited to see the reveal of your creative, festive, foil-filled accessories. For dramatic effect, let's leave your cameras off until I count down, and then we can see everyone's festive wear. All right, y'all, the last minute, I'm counting down. Get your foil creative accessories ready. Put them on. I will count down from 10 when we get there. Leave your cameras off for the moment. We'll do a dramatic reveal. All right, no pressure, but 30 seconds left. When we get to 10, I'm gonna count down from 10, and then we'll all turn on our cameras at the same time, and we will see who created the greatest festive accessory. 15 seconds. Here we go, y'all. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's see your cameras. Wow. Chris, Kay, that's an amazing tinfoil hat. Oh, I see some amazing necklaces, some hats, bow ties. Wow, Lydia has a beard. Mar, y'all both got hats on. Andrew, wow, what a creative mask with the paper bag. That is fantastic. Alexander, great hat as well. Oh man, Dan, Skye, I don't know. Maybe we can all pick our favorites. Who do you guys really like?
Definitely shout out to Roti. What is happening there, Roti? Is it a graduation cap?
Yeah, it's a bit of a mix with a peacock hanging on it.
I do love Chris's massive crown. Wow, Alex Shen also has a massive crown, but it's like a huge hat.
John, what is happening?
This is a paper or aluminum foil airplane. It represents the new heights that your organization is going to, yet at the same time, the simplicity of the power of leadership.
Wow. Deep meaning attached.
Janice and Kaya also have some classy crowns over there.
I gotta say, my favorite is Tao's Jesus piece.
Ooh, yes.
Love it.
We gotta get that Jesus on.
Love it. Awesome. You know, why don't we take a quick group picture? Dan, Skye, do you want me to do that, or you guys got it?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Okay. On the count of 3, why don't we make a wacky photo together, and we will go from there. Really highlight your tinfoil. All right, ready? 3, 2, 1. All right, one more, because we got to do 2 screens because so many people are in here. 1, or sorry, I'll count down. 3, 2, 1. So, oh my gosh, so many people took this really seriously. I love it. Well, we're gonna move on. I have the honor and the privilege of introducing the parents of this brand new startup, and they're gonna share a little bit about what Oaks and Crowns is about. And so why don't we give a festive Zoom cheer while muted for Dan and Skye. And the way we could do that is like this. Ready? Let's welcome our startup parents, Dan and Skye.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. It is an honor for us to be here today. Thank you for celebrating our new child, this startup called Oaks and Crown. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and do a little screen share here. So just 1 second. Cool, alrighty. So I know that y'all are dying of anticipation and suspense right now. What the heck is Oaks and Crown? So yes, we're just gonna go through a quick little overview of just who we are and what we've been up to. So Oaks and Crown is our new nonprofit startup. And yes, we are focused on leadership development and leadership coaching for high potential East African leaders. And that is what we are doing. So we have just been like really honored to be able to like work with just incredible young leaders who just like have so much passion and so much potential. And like I think it's just been really awesome to work with them and really continue to like raise up these leaders. Our vision is really to see I think, amazing Christ-centered kingdom leaders represented in every single sector of society. I think we're kind of agnostic to whether it's like only startup, like only business or only nonprofit. And like, we really want to see, just like amazing people representing Christ wherever they go, whether that's in government or in business or in media or in community development work. And so, I think it'd just be really incredible to see people really living out those Christ-centered identities and living into excellence in leadership. Our name, just a little bit of an explanation. So why are we called Oaks and Crown? I think for a long time when we were really thinking through what we should be called, we were really wrestling with this tension that we felt. And so the tension was basically, we wanted this to be something that felt really refined and professional, like really representing that kind of leadership development aspect. And then on the other hand, I think we really wanted to value kind of servant leadership, humility, authenticity, warmth as well. And both those different brand feelings just actually felt like at odds with each other. And we couldn't really find a name that could really capture both until we came upon Oaks and Crown. And I think it's just like this really amazing kind of representation of both sides of what we're trying to do. There's like the crown side, which again is like this like kind of royalty, refines kind of side of what we're trying to do, as well as the Oaks part, which is like really, it's like rooted, grounded, really kind of heartfelt part of like what we're trying to communicate with our brands and what our mission as well. The kind of two items, the oaks and the crown, actually come from this scripture, Isaiah 61, which is actually just such a core and kind of foundational text for what we're trying to do with this organization. And so I will read it for us, but basically this is the passage that Jesus really like references at the start of his ministry. And so much of what we're trying to do is like, like really kind of representing Christ in whatever that we're doing. So I'll just read this for us. Isaiah 61 says, "The Spirit of the Sovereign Lord is on me, because the Lord has anointed me to proclaim good news to the poor. He has sent me to bind up the brokenhearted, to proclaim freedom for the captives and release from darkness for the prisoners, to proclaim the year of the Lord's favor and the day of vengeance of our God, to comfort all who mourn and provide for those who grieve in Zion, to bestow on them a crown of beauty instead of ashes, the oil of joy instead of mourning, and a garment of praise instead of a spirit of despair. They will be called oaks of righteousness, a planting of the Lord for the display of his splendor." Those were kind of words that we captured from this passage, the oaks and the crowns. And that is totally what we're trying to do, is having more oaks of righteousness being planted all over the world. Cool. All right, I'm going to turn it over to Skye just to kind of give a brief update of the timeline that we've been on.
Exactly. So I will just share, what we've done so far and how we have gotten here. So I'm actually going to start coming up on a year ago, last April, Dan and I were having this conversation. He was like really struggle busing with his job in San Francisco and was just having this like really angsty moment of being like, I just really feel like God has given me this calling to just invest in like Christian leaders and build them up. And like, he was really missing like working with like young Africans from the time that we had both lived in Kenya. And he was just like, I just don't know when I'm going to be able to do this kind of work. And here's the thing, I literally don't remember this conversation because it was such a non-event for me. But apparently I said to Dan, like, okay, so Dan, like, if you really want to do this kind of work, like, why don't you just do it? And I was like, you know, it's COVID, everything is remote right now. We don't have to work in person. Like, you can literally just kind of design like a little pilot project, like just do it on the side and just see how it goes. Like, if you're really excited about this kind of work, just start it. I'll help you. I'll do it with you. So we did. We spent then the month of May doing a bunch of design research. We spoke to a bunch of our friends, young professionals in East Africa, to really learn about the most sort of transformative experiences they had been through, the most impactful mentorship relationships they had had in their lives, and taking some insights from those conversations, we just dreamed up what our like ideal 3-month Christian leadership program might look like. And on July 1st, we emailed out to a whole bunch of alumni of a leadership program based in Kenya that we had both worked with before, to invite them to apply to this pilot program that we had just come up with. And we actually got a really great response. We heard back from a lot of people. We got 16 applications, and we were able to accept a little pilot cohort of 10 awesome individuals from 4 different countries, Kenya, Tanzania, Uganda, and South Sudan. And so on the great auspicious day of August 15th, which is also my birthday, we launched our first session with our pilot cohort. And honestly, like, we just ended up having a blast with them. We had weekly Zoom calls with them every week. We just started hearing such great feedback that they were able to really start applying the content that they were learning in the sessions and in the assignments, in their workplaces and in their lives. And it was really making a difference for them, that their, you know, spiritual lives were really growing, that they were engaging with scripture in a really new way. And honestly, we just had a blast every week on the call. So at some point, Dan and I also were just having another conversation. We were both struggle busing at our jobs once again. And I just said, like, wow, wouldn't it be so fun if we just quit our jobs and worked on this organization full time? Isn't that such a crazy idea? And so, of course, we circled back a few weeks later and we're like, I think that we're going to quit our jobs and work on this organization full time. And we decided to move back to the Dartmouth area of New Hampshire, because we love this area. We would be able to, you know, both be here and work together in person. And a lot of our network of, you know, people who would be able to support us in starting this are also in this area. So we wrapped our pilot cohort last November. And since then have just been going full steam ahead, figuring out, you know, how to register, doing registration, figuring out a new name, setting up our website, completely redesigning our program, et cetera, et cetera. So what does our program actually consist of? Again, we've like totally redesigned a lot of things based on feedback that we got from our pilot cohort. And this is what we're really excited to launch in cohort 2 that is going to be starting actually in just a little over a week. So core content themes, identity, who we are in Christ, and particularly from that Christian perspective, what does that mean for us, for, you know, the kinds of work that we do in our lives? Leadership, what is leadership? If we understand leadership as influence, how do we really build those influence skills? And then professional skills that can really be applied directly in the workplace. Again, we really wanted to have both sides of this program, the spiritual growth and the practical skills development, emphasized throughout the entire thing. So we really are bridging that gap throughout the entire program. And for our cohort 2, we're excited to actually launch 2 different tracks. So for those who are starting their own company or nonprofit organization. We have the founders track, and then we also have a professionals track for those people who are pursuing a career within an established organization. For cohort 2, we were amazed to actually receive 60 applications from many different countries in East and Central Africa, and are so excited to have accepted 45 participants from 8 different countries, mostly East Africa, but we also let a guy in from Congo Brazzaville. And we'll have 3 groups of 15 people, so still keeping that really small group feel, but being able to actually get, work with a much higher number of participants just in this program. So that is what is coming up for us. Next, I just wanted to briefly touch on our program values. So we really hold these values really dear and also try to emphasize them for our participants throughout the program. So number 1 is bow before the Lord of Lords. As a Christian organization, we just want to, submit to God in all things and do everything for his glory. Number 2 is assume your throne. So you can see my beautiful crown here. Dan's kind of something.
Animal crown, maybe? I don't know.
This is just about recognizing our identity as children of God who actually then are co-heirs with Christ to his kingdom with that sort of authority and responsibility. Number 3, pursue shalom. This is about wholeness, everything being in right relationship, pursuing that kind of peace, that justice, that righteousness for all people and throughout our communities. Come as you are. We really want everyone to bring that authenticity and vulnerability and be their truest self. Exercise creative confidence. We just believe that creativity makes everything better and that everyone is creative. You have all proved this with your beautiful creations today. Make others successful. We just really want to emphasize that we're, really here to make one another successful and not just for our own personal gain. And then finally, embrace delight. So this one is really just that we just want to carry that spirit of joy and celebration in all things. So very quickly, we actually came up with motions for each of our program values to just help our participants be able to remember them. But it's a little early. We still kind of need to workshop them. We're not totally sure if it'll really work. So we were hoping just to get your help and just try these motions with us, and we'll just see how it goes. So is everyone ready? Okay, so number 1, bow before the Lord.
Bow before the Lord of Lords.
Number 2, assume your throne.
Put on those crowns.
Yeah. Number 3, pursue shalom. It's about the wholeness. Very good. Number 4, come as you are. Number 5, exercise creative confidence. Number 6, make others successful. And number 7, embrace the light. Great job, everyone.
So awesome. Yes, I just really love that we bring in that spirit of joy and delight into everything that we do. So I wanted to talk through just a little bit. I mean, honestly, this work has just been so fun and fulfilling for us to do. I think both of us just really love program design actually. And so I wanted to go through a little bit of just some of the design principles that we've been taking into just how we've actually designed our program and our organization. So the first principle is personalized attention. So we've intentionally kept our experience small. We basically emphasize a small cohort based experience. And so our first pilot program last year was 10 people. For this time around, 45 people, but they're broken into 3 groups of 15. And so we wanted to have each group be a really small collaborative experience. We also offer basically one-on-one coaching for all of our participants. And so it really is this in-depth focused experience for every single person who's part of it. Second is a focus on practical application. And so we don't want to be just another thing out there that just disperses more information that actually isn't applied. And so we've actually integrated a lot of principles of project-based learning, experiential learning into our sessions. They're all super active, very activity-based. And that's a lot of how we are thinking about our program and just how we actually facilitate our content. Number 3 is designing for moments. So there's this incredible book out there that I highly recommend everyone read, and it's called The Power of Moments. It talks a lot about how we actually don't remember like a lot of the stuff that we encounter in life, but like what we do remember are basically like key moments that are either like infused with emotion or just like really stand out as something special. And so we've really tried to integrate that into like every single thing that we do, is just like create these like memorable moments that really feel like, you know, changing or transformative, or like really kind of, you know, feels like we're going out of the way, but to like create that kind of special moment for people. So just as a quick example, even just like in terms of our acceptance letters, in terms of when people find out that they're accepted to their program, other programs might just like send an email, but we literally have created like this like little trailer video based off the Game of Thrones intro that basically is like this personalized message for each person that's accepted, just to like really speak to them directly and like let them know that they've been expected, that they've been accepted, and that they've been chosen. We have like a curated like welcome playlist that we send them, and like the message that they get when they first find out about their acceptance, and they take like a celebration selfie, and you know, I add it into like our WhatsApp group, and so, you know, just like creating this like really kind of special moment of delight, even for every single moment of this experience, as they go through this journey with us. And the last thing I want to just touch on is the power of narrative. And so again, like there's so much content out there, like it's just so difficult to like remember things, especially since like, I mean, like you can Google anything. There's just like a deluge of stuff. And especially even like for like a 3-month program like ours that people can go through, it can kind of feel like, oh my God, there's like so much stuff that we covered, like what did we cover again? And so we've actually been really intentional about like crafting all of our content in like the form of narrative, because, you know, humans are narrative creatures. We actually remember stories, right? And so like another kind of fun creative thing that we've done is actually we've woven the core concepts of all of our program into like one unified, essentially storybook. And we've actually like come up with like a little almost like analogous story with these 2 characters called Kiti and Kata, who are like this brother and sister going on this like magical forest adventure. So every week, basically, there's you know, a little bit more of the story that you get, but it basically maps to what we're covering in the program. So as an example, like when we're doing design thinking and like creative problem solving, like literally like Kiti and Kata are like trying to cross this river, and they're like trying to like creatively problem solve how to get across this river. And it's just like a really fun way, again, of like tying together all of like the core concepts that we're trying to get across into like a really unified, you know, kind of narrative format. So anyway, I just want to highlight some of the ways that we are kind of going about our program. Feels really different than how other people are like, you know, dispersing leadership content out there. And so in a lot of ways, it feels like, wow, like we're kind of being like a little bit cutting edge self-call with how we're doing things. Awesome. And cool. So instead of like talking more, I thought that like the last thing that we could do together is actually just like take everyone through a little bit of like what a sample session might feel like with all of our participants. And so I'm just gonna go dive right in and like take on role of facilitator. So hello everyone, welcome to Oaks and Crowns session 1. I'm just gonna start off with a couple of announcements with all of you wonderful cohort mates. So remember, schedule your one-on-ones, your coaching sessions with Dan or Skye, because we do definitely want to touch on those content materials that we want to apply with you this week. And so the next announcement is, oh wait, what is this? What is happening? What is this? What is the Creative Confidence Challenge? Looks like we're in for a treat here. All right, so I'm just gonna pause the music for a hot second. So Creative Confidence Challenges, we kind of spontaneously put in these moments throughout our sessions, which basically just like allow for people to like take a little brain break and engage in like a little creative activity. So we're going to do the same exact thing right now because we've been talking for a long time. And so Creative Confidence Challenge is like a way for us to like do something creative together. All right, so today's Creative Confidence Challenge is the fact that, so today's Creative Confidence Challenge is this little prompt. So I need everyone to go get a piece of paper and a pen. And this is what you're gonna do. You have 2 minutes to draw a box, then draw the opposite of a box.
Wow.
We will leave that to your interpretation of what that means. And then afterwards, we will all share our creations with each other.
Can I get 10 large fries, please?
I'm gonna need like
Oh, no,
10
God.
egg McMuffin sandwich things.
Night or the next morning, you've been loyal. My McDonald's Rewards is for you. Now every order earns points redeemable for free McDonald's.
Yeah, me, I like this, my African hands, them gon' love you. Yeah, my African lips, them gon' kiss you. Whoa. My African hips get down to you. Whoa. My African legs, them gon' run to you. Whether you come here to break dance, I bet you come here to shake hands. You come here to make plans. Never would it reach as motherland. Whether you come here to rock West, I be not to find good, everything they ever would it reach as motherland. Anywhere you go, London, USA, nowhere be like Africa, nowhere be like home. Anywhere you go, New York, Chicago, nowhere be like Africa, nowhere be like home.
All right, we've got just about 30 seconds left to finish your drawing. Draw a box, draw the opposite of a box. 30 seconds left. All right, our time is up here. That is our 2 minutes. Our time is up. All right, let's pause the music here. All right. Okay, so let's go ahead and show our creations on camera here. Go ahead and share it on your screen. Let's see those boxes and opposite of box. Ooh,
nice,
I see a box
Chris.
and a key. I see some explosions. Ooh.
Oh, nice, Simone. Possibility.
Different shapes. Ooh, very creative. Love
Stephanie,
it,
I
love
loved
it.
all the colors.
I see lines, possibilities. Love it. Ooh, different cubes, colors. Ah, I love it, I love it. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and take this as another little picture moment. So if everyone can, again, just share, hold their drawings up to the screen. I'm gonna do a couple of screenshots here. All right, 3, 2, 1. All right, and then second screen here. All right, again, 3, 2, 1. All right, perfect. Thank you, everyone. And then let's just do a normal picture right now, just like a normal smiley picture with everyone. All right, again, 3, 2, 1. All right, and second screen here, 3, 2, 1. All right, perfect. Thank you all so much. And at this time, we're gonna turn it back to Mickey.
Awesome. If you don't get it, Dan and Skye are representing the crown portion of Oaks and Crown, and I am the oak, just a little budding leafling. I'm glad to see so many people have joined since the beginning. If you're thinking this is a little culty with people wearing tinfoil hats, it was our icebreaker activity. And so everyone's just being festive and enjoying the startup celebration. Well, just to keep the party going, we're moving on with our program. We're actually going to transition to another game. And I know the first game, the winner got some prop points, but I have decided to make this a little more exciting. I'm going to donate Starbucks gift cards to the winners of the activity. And so our next activity is going to be really fun. Oaks and Crown, they have created a brand new website. And so this is the moment of their website reveal. Normally you do like a gender reveal during this kind of thing, but this is their website reveal. It's brand new. It's so hot. It's really great and amazing. And so our game is actually going to include the Oaks and Crown website. And so here's how it's going to go. We're going to have 4 rounds, and each round will begin with the clue. Then we're going to give you about a minute or a minute and a half to try to do a scavenger hunt throughout the website to find whatever we're prompting you to go find. And the way that you're going to show us that you found it is you're going to screenshot from your phone that portion of the website that you are scavenging for. Does that make sense? So we'll give you a clue. You go to the brand new Oaks and Crown website and you try to find what you're looking for, take a picture. And when you have found it, all you have to do is raise your virtual hand and I will unmute you and you can show me your screenshot. Does that make sense? And so the winner of each round will get a gift card for Starbucks donated by this broke pastor. It won't be for a lot of money, but it'll be a little something just to get you going. Does that make sense, everyone? Awesome. All right, why don't we start with the first round? So it's going to get from easy to really hard. And then we'll go ahead and post the website. Maybe Dan, can we post it in the chat? The brand new Oaks and Crown website.
Yep, website deal is coming your way.
All right, y'all. So we're going to give you 1 minute for this first round. And the first clue is identify the fiercest photo on the website. Go. You have 1 minute. The fiercest photo.
Katie, if you got it, you just raise your virtual hand.
Oh, let's see, Katie. Can you put it a little closer to the screen? Dan, Skye, is that right?
Is that the one of Roti? No.
There's one I would say is a little bit fiercer.
Even fiercer. Who else has their hand raised? Oh, LOL.
It is not Dan.
That's me.
No.
John had his hand raised next.
All right, John, what is yours? Yes! Ding, ding, ding.
Yes.
That is correct.
All right, congratulations, John. I will get your contact info afterwards. All right, clue number 2 is Zoom within a Zoom. Go.
Whatever
Oaks
that
Crown,
means.
brand new website. John, did you find it? Is your hand just raised?
Oh no, it's still up. Sorry.
Got it. Zoom within a Zoom. All right, Roti, I believe, was first.
Ooh. Cannot see. That's probably it.
Yep, that's it.
Let's go, Roti. Congratulations. I will also get your contact afterwards. All right. We have 2 clues left. So 2 prizes potentially that you can win. The next clue is Oswald Chambers. Ooh. Getting a little harder. The clue is Oswald Chambers. We have about 40 seconds left. "20 seconds. Oh, no one has found it. Oswald Chambers. Y'all made this really hard.
The rounds do increase in difficulty.
All right.
Next round is really hard.
We'll give you all 10 seconds.
Ooh, all right. Mark and Tamar.
Quote from Oswald Chambers on the support us page.
Nicely done.
Well done. Well done.
Wow, great job. I wasn't sure if anyone was going to find that, but y'all did great. All right, last round. This is probably the hardest one. So this will be the greatest value in gift card. Okay, here we go. which isn't much, but just want to give something. All right, this last one, in quotations, tell us your story. What is the journey you've taken to be where you are now? Once again, the clue is tell us your story. What is the journey you've taken to be where you are now?
Try Jesus, don't try me, 'cause I throw hands.
Ooh, Sam Motter.
Samantha.
I'm on my phone, so I don't know how to share it, but it's in the apply, and then you click, and then it goes to like a Google Doc link, and it's one of the questions.
Wow. Oh my gosh.
Wow. Congratulations. Wow. I was
I can send you the screenshot, but I'm on my phone. I found it.
No, that's right. I wasn't sure anyone was going to find that one. That's amazing. Well, if you were winners to John, Roti, Tamar, and Sam, go ahead and direct message me here on Zoom and just send me your email and we'll send you a gift card for being so studious. But isn't the website amazing? Didn't they do a phenomenal job? Just makes you want to be on it all the time and go to the donate button. I don't know. Anyway, we're going to transition now to some impact stories. So I'm going to give the floor back to Dan and Skye, and they're going to introduce that.
Perfect. Thanks so much, Mickey. All right. So yes, we are very just overjoyed to be joined by two special guests today. We actually have two members of our inaugural cohorts, our pilot cohorts, joining us today. And so they will actually be just sharing some of the stories from what the program has really been for them, the impact that it's had on them. And so yes, we're going to be hearing from them today. So Isaac and Jennifer, are you on the call with us? All right.
Yes, Ben.
All right, perfect. All right, well, Jennifer, why don't we go ahead and start with you? Yeah, so Jennifer is one of our beautiful, lovely, wonderful cohort 1 alumni. And so, yeah, can you just share a little bit more about yourself and kind of what the program has meant for you?
Okay, hope you can hear me clearly, right?
Yeah, we're hearing
you.
Yes,
okay, so I'm so excited. I'm really excited to be here, and I'm so happy to see like so many people here, and we are all here to support Ox and Crown and just to get together and get to know more about Ox and Crown. So just a little bit about me. My name is Jennifer Dipondo from Kenya, a proud alumni of Ox and Crown, Cohort 1. And I'm also a program assistant at an organization called Jacaranda Health. And Jacaranda Health mainly deals with maternal and child health. And as part of the reason why I joined Ox and Crown was for professional growth, personal growth. Just to understand a bit about me, I'm just getting into the professional world, just graduated from school recently, and I'm just trying to figure out what happens in the professional world. So my main reason for joining was just to get that professional mentorship and also spiritual growth. And I'm so happy that I got all this in one place. So as part of my growth, since I joined for Ox and Crown, I must say that it's been quite a journey, both for me, both professionally and spiritually. So first, I would say that it has actually enabled me to identify some of the skills that I had, and actually didn't know how that I had the skills. So just to mention a few that when you are going through the program, the things that we're learning to do, public speaking and teaching, and just as part of my key role at my work is just to market our program and get to teach it and present it to the county government and to get their buy-in. So it actually came in handy. And another thing that actually stood out for me was our design project. I know Dan and Skye just mentioned about some of the design projects that we do, the group works. So one of the key things that stood out for me was the design project. And one of it we were doing just like trying to identify challenges that we face at our workplace and just to find out solutions that how we can approach them. So this one actually brought me close to my manager, and she actually took in on me and decided to mentor me on my job. So it actually came in handy. And I was also able to identify some of the strengths and weaknesses as a leader, and just to try and leverage them at my workplace. Yeah, so far since I graduated from Ox and Crown, I'm so happy and I'm so excited to say that some of the skills that I learned, I was actually able to leverage them at my workplace, and so happy to say that I got promoted. Yeah, and yes, and this has really come with a lot of responsibilities, pressure, expectations. So I'm still trying. I always find myself referring to what I learned during the program, and I'm also in a leadership position as per now, which has given me a good platform to impact change positively and also to improve our program. So I'm really happy. I am so excited that Dan and Skye came up with such a brilliant program that is actually helping many young professionals like me. And I really hope that this go a long way to even impact more young professionals that will join the program soon. Yeah, so thank you.
Wow, thank you so much. And yeah, just a big round of applause for Jennifer. We're so proud of her. Like, she's literally managing a team now. And like, that just like the growth that we've seen in her, we're just so proud of her. So thank you so much, Jennifer, for being here today. And Isaac, I know that you are on the call as well. I'm gonna go ahead and introduce our wonderful Cohort 1 alumni, Isaac as well. And yeah, let me turn it over to you to introduce yourself and explain a little bit more about the impact that this program has had on you.
Hi, everyone.
Hi, Isaac.
My name is Isaac, and I'm glad to see everyone. It's an exciting day that Dan and Skye are launching Ox and Crown today, and they are welcoming a new cohort. Cohort 2 come next week, which is an exciting journey actually, because the first cohort was really amazing. I think what captured me in the initial stages, actually in the application, was the fact that this program was centered on two major foundations. One, faith, and then number two is professional growth at both personal level and workplace level. So this really captured me when I was making my application, and I was really eager to see what the 14 weeks program was like, and Dan exceeded my expectations, because I was going through a lot of emotional trauma at my workplace and at my personal level. And this program actually was able to bring me back together to just understand myself and understand who I am as a person, and be able to forge a way forward in my life and in my workplace. So I am a startup founder. Currently, I have 3 companies that I'm operating. One of the companies is called The Village, which is disrupting the real estate environment in Africa by providing a booking system for people who are able to travel from one city to another as they assign different assignment in Africa. So we are working on that. And then number 2, I have a laundry business that I started just after finishing up Ox and Crown Cohort 1 leadership program. And then number 3, I'm working on a marketplace for travel, tours and travels, which is an exciting project because I see it creating job opportunity for so many people in the tourism industry. One of the things that really created change, a lot of change in me, going through Ox and Crown Cohort 1, was the fact that in my first startup that I founded 2 years ago, I have funders, and they were not comfortable last year being that I'm the CEO of the company by then, and then we had COVID-19 that really struck businesses, and people are in shock, and they were looking at how various strategies are affecting their operations. So the board decided that I have to step down, which was really a hard decision I had to make as a personal level, and also being the founder of the team from the onset was really hard for me. So with the coaching of Dan and Skye, this was able to go successfully, and I was able to accept and come into terms that giving someone else an opportunity to lead the company will actually push the company towards the right direction, where everyone felt like the leadership and the whole team is confident enough to lead the company to success. So it was very difficult in the initial sense, but because of the coaching and the mentorship that I received during the whole program, this was able to help me to come in terms with myself to be able to accept this, which is a totally difficult decision to make on a personal level. Yeah, so I applaud Ox and Crown and the rest of Cohort 1 for helping me to be able to achieve this. And I mentioned that I'm operating 3 startups at the moment. The 2 startups that I started last year actually came in just after I accepted that I need to open up myself for other opportunities, because I had blocked out myself from any other opportunity outside there, from anything that was not related to my first startup. So that's how far I've been able to achieve. And of course, so many things are happening that are good at a personal level. And this is because I'm able to communicate with other people better. I'm able to share my story very short and very precise. And these are some of the things I didn't have before Ox and Crown. It has given me the confidence to actually go out there and become the person I am, to be a vessel of God's purpose in this world and create some substantial impact out there. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to what Dan and Skye are up to in the coming few months, and of course in the coming few years. And I can't wait for how many people will be changed because of this program. And of course, your support will push this company towards the next level. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Isaac, for sharing. Thank you so much for being here. Yeah, we're just so honored by your presence. Thank you. Thank you. All right. So, yeah, the next thing that we're going to do together here is, yeah, we actually wanted to just share like a little bit more of just like our personal journeys to how we actually got here, and, you know, just some of the different threads from our lives so far, to actually even us like starting this organization. And so, yeah, we're gonna go ahead and do a couple of photo slideshows. And so you're gonna see a bunch of awkward photos from us when we were younger. Yay. Alrighty, so I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen here. All right. Perfect. So I'm going to do mine as what is called a Pecha Kucha, which is 20 slides, 20 seconds each. So it's just like a great kind of like photo slideshow format. And it goes really quick. So I'm going to have to like talk really fast. But let's go ahead and start. All right, so yeah, I'm gonna start my story off at Dartmouth. So yes, I was a little baby freshman, really not knowing what I wanted to do, but I think Dartmouth for me was actually like just a really formative period of my life. So here's me as, you know, a lost and forlorn child, not knowing what I wanted to study. Like honestly, like I had such a journey. Like I think at one point I wanted to study corporate law, LOL. I was pre-med at some point. I was a neuroscience major. Actually, I still finished my neuro major. But yeah, I just like really had like such a journey with like what I wanted to do. But one of the formative terms of my life was actually me studying abroad at Oxford. So that's when I really studied international development. And I think that was the first time that something really clicked for me of like, oh my gosh, there's like really smart people like working on a set of like really compelling challenges that like the world actually encounters. And so I think that was kind of like, ooh, like if I could actually like do something in this field, that'd be awesome. I come back from that term and like take the infamous Engines 12, which is Introduction to Design Thinking at Dartmouth. And that was like the course that like changed my perspective, I feel like, on so many things, allowed me to see that like creative problem solving is actually possible and that I actually have the ability to be a creative person. And I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. I need to figure out any way to apply this like the work that I do. After that, I went to South Africa and basically did a design project in this rural village 4 hours north of Cape Town. So this is kind of where we're very remote, and actually got to actually implement, you know, like these two different things I was really interested in, right? Like international development work and design. So lots of kids were there, so that was really fun. But yeah, we really got to like work with a local team. So this was my design team, and actually like come up with like ideas together that would really empower their community. And I think that was the first time I was like, oh my God, like this is really awesome to be able to like empower people to like realize their own agency, and their like power to like come up with ideas that can really benefit their own communities. And so I think from that point forward, I was like, oh yes, any point I can, you know, do this kind of work, it would be awesome. Here's just a quick picture of us dancing. All right. Also, the other significant thing that happened at Dartmouth was me meeting Skye. So we were in the same Christian a cappella group together called Zato. And so that was super fun. This was like from a picture on tour. And basically by senior year, we were actually like in leadership of this group together, Zato. So this was what we called the pitchocracy, because the leaders of our Christian a cappella group, we actually called the pitches. And so, yeah, we just worked really well together. And I think we always had the sense at that point of like, hey, like we might actually do something together someday, but little did we know like what it would actually be. All right, so after I graduated, I moved to San Francisco and worked with this amazing human-centered design firm called IDEO.org. They do exactly like international development work and human-centered design. So it's like this amazing intersection. And honestly, it was like the most like inspirational, amazing group of people that I've ever had, like, I feel like the privilege to work with. And they just like really inspired me and I think pushed me to exercise my creative confidence. And I just like grew so much professionally there. So that was an amazing experience. Yes, the next thing I did after that was working for this insurance startup in the Bay Area called Next Insurance, LOL. That was a really bad experience. Did not have a good time there. And so I left after 3 months, and that basically catapulted me into like this like whole season of soul searching and introspection. I basically was doing like these like meditation hikes like along the ocean on these like cliffs overlooking the sunset, you know, like on a Wednesday afternoon, and just like really contemplating my life basically, because I just like really was like searching, was like, God, like what do you want me to do with my life, you know, like what am I supposed to do, where am I supposed to go? And I think I really just like received conviction around that time to actually move abroad. That's also when I reconnected with Skye around that time. And she was like already in or moving to Kenya. And she's like, Dan, you should just come to Nairobi with us. It's going to be so much fun. And I was like, that's scary and really crazy. But I basically made the leap of faith and moved to Kenya, start of 2018. So I was in Nairobi. And yeah, basically got this amazing opportunity to work with a local design firm there called Blue Sky Innovations. So this was my team. Nazreen was my partner. And yeah, it was like a really small firm, but we did like just like really amazing work. And I, again, got to like explore this intersection of like design and also international development work. One of our biggest sets of work was working with this leadership center in Nairobi called the Young African Leaders Initiative. And so this is the group of people that we worked with. Again, just inspiring, amazing young African leaders who really represent the future generation of leadership, I believe, in like the African continent. And there's just such a palpable energy there. I remember like literally the first day I was at the center, like breaking down in tears because I was like, this is so powerful. Anyway, also, of course, Skye was there. And so I just really like this picture because like this represents our relationship so well. Literally, she's just like, always like, okay, like come over here, you know, like this is what you need to do. Because I was hopelessly lost in Nairobi. Like I could not navigate my way around. But yeah, it was, I mean, there's a lot more I could say about my time in Kenya, and like you should catch up with me separately about that. But lots of good, lots of bad, but very formative. Also, of course, a picture of me with a baby. Had to throw it in there, classic. Yeah, and so I mean, I think my time in Kenya just like really showed me the importance of working and empowering local leaders, especially like young leaders. I think I just like realized that this is such an opportunity. And I just like all the people that I met, like all the people I got a chance to work with, I was like, wow, this is so important. I need to do this work. Anyway, little glam shot of me doing one of my facilitation things. But yeah, I wanted to stay in Kenya longer, but actually there were like visa issues that I encountered. So I actually had to come back to San Francisco in 2019. Back to SF I went. This is actually a picture from my 26th birthday back in San Francisco. Shout out to the people on this call who were actually there. But yeah, it was actually a really interesting year, 2019. It actually ended up being like a really challenging year for me because I basically spent most of that year unemployed, and again, like brought back to that place of like soul searching introspection. I feel like God was really decoupling my identity from the work that I do. And I think I had to just like learn my identity as like a son, basically, but a son of God. But anyway, lots of soul searching. It culminated basically at the end of a week of fasting on this mountaintop. And I just really felt like that was my breakthrough moment of God really showing me like, this stand is who you are. You are a son, and you actually have agency, you have rulership over my kingdom. And it was just, I think, yeah, I mean, more can be said about this moment, and I'm happy to share separately. But I just really felt like, wow, like the dreams that God has given me, like I'm able to daydream for God's kingdom, and he actually gives me that agency, right, to like do the things that I really love. And I know that one of the things that I basically journaled out when I was daydreaming was like, God, how incredible would it be to like call out the identities of other sons and daughters as kings and queens, you know, who rule over God's kingdom with love and justice. So anyway, I thought that the way I was going to express that calling was through this tech nonprofit in Oakland called Philanthropy University. So shout out to my Phil U crew who are here. And they basically do nonprofit management trainings through an online learning platform for grassroots young leaders across the world. But it didn't work out. 2020 happened. Everything broke apart. And honestly, I'm like a little bit thankful for like how 2020 happened, because I think it forced me to like take a good hard look of like what I actually want to do. And 2020 February, I basically reconnected with Skye at this Christian conference called Ignite Ivy. And so it's like just a really great moment for us to kind of touch base again. And basically I was like, yeah, actually, you know, I think the truest way to express my calling is like just like start my own organization. And so we started it together. And so here we are today. This is literally our reunion call with cohort 1 from like yesterday. And so it's just been this amazing journey of like so many different threads in my life. I think seeing God like tie those together into like where I'm at right now. So there you go. There's my Pecha Kucha. All righty. Woo! Whirlwind.
Can you set the one up for me?
Yes. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Skye to do hers. All righty.
Ooh, wow. I'm like out of breath from Dan speaking so quickly.
All righty. Hold on.
1 second. We'll
One
pull up
second.
my pictures.
Yes. Okay, there it is.
Also, Dan, you're going to need to show us a demonstration of your dance after all of this.
Oh
I
my
think
God.
we all agree this is
Yeah,
going to
at the after party, there's also many other photos I did not include in the slideshow. We can show them at the after party.
All right. So my slideshow is basically just Skye gets more stamps in her passport. I have really always just like been interested in like going abroad, learning languages, understanding other cultures. I took a gap year after high school and moved to France and worked as a nanny for these crazy children. And then I wanted to volunteer in a developing country. So I had a connection with a school in Tanzania in East Africa, and got to hang out with these kids and help make teaching tools like this alphabet banner, and also connected with this really sweet secondary school student named Tabitha. And she really was a really good friend to me when I was there. She was trying to make her way through secondary school. It was a challenge finding school fees, etc. But I'm actually really proud of her because she's been able to actually make her way through university and now is going to be joining the professionals track of our cohort too. So we love
Everything
Tabitha.
comes full circle.
Everything comes full circle. Next, I went to Dartmouth. I knew I was interested in international development things at this point. I also knew that Dartmouth had a lot of money and could pay for me to continue traveling to Africa. So I got funding after my freshman year and went and worked with this small community development organization in rural Malawi. And mostly I just sat on the porch with this grandma, and I only knew how to say extensive greetings in Chichewa. So we would just greet each other really profusely and then just sit together on the porch. I also was tutoring this group of secondary school students, and they were so great. They like took me around to their home villages. I just got to see, you know, really get an insight into their lives. And, you know, Malawi was a British colony, so they use the British school system. So I was helping them study things like Romeo and Juliet, which there's a lot of cognitive dissonance there, but there you go. I also was helping out with a preschool that this organization ran. And one day, a couple of these kiddos decided they were going to dress up as Skye. So honestly, looking at these pictures, like, can you even tell, like, is this me? Like, are these the kids? I don't even know. Next, I moved back to Dartmouth, to the great state of New Hampshire. Do you like my maps, everyone? Geography major. And I had the opportunity to work with young Africans, not only just by going abroad, but by staying right here in New Hampshire. So I worked with this amazing program called YALI. Dan already talked about the YALI Center in Kenya, but a different branch of YALI actually brings young professionals from all over sub-Saharan Africa to different colleges and universities in the US. So this was my first experience, like working with this sort of age group, these like young business people, all entrepreneurs. And it was just such a wonderful time in my life. I really just loved their energy, their ideas, and just seeing like the impact that this kind of program had for them, just to honestly bring the network together. It was so impactful to, you know, see the kind of like connections that they were making with each other, like collaborations with their different businesses, you know, talking about different common challenges that they faced and how they had overcome them. So I was able to work with that program for 2 different summers. And then shout out to Lydia, FSP. So I then did the environmental studies study abroad program, which goes to Southern Africa, mostly South Africa and Namibia. And it really looks at what is the intersection between environmental conservation and development. You know, when can these things really be in, you know, constructive collaboration? When are they in tension? And, you know, what do things like climate change look like for a local small farmer or, you know, a local fisherman? And also just got to do fun things like track lions in a game reserve with these 2 awesome guys. Went to Namibia, did some research in the desert, learned that I don't like the desert. Then I graduated, I wanted to move back to East Africa, and I got funding again from Dartmouth, thanks Dartmouth, to go and work with the YALI Center, the Young African Leaders Initiative Training Center in Nairobi. 2 of my best friends from Dartmouth, Simone and Nikessa, were also there at the time. So it was just a really wonderful time in my life. I was mostly working with the alumni team, so supporting the 14 different alumni chapters in the different countries that the program draws participants from. This was an event that the Kenya alumni put on. They were painting a primary school in Kibera, which is one of Nairobi's slums. So I was able to just participate in this like community volunteer day. And Sinan, who is to my right in this picture, is actually going to be a cohort 2 participant for Oaks and Crowns. So again, full circle. I also just had this beautiful family that I met through a church that I went to, and they just adopted me. I ended up living with them. Shout out to Nikessa Masibo for this glamour shot. They just really like taught me Swahili. They took me around the city. They were just such a huge part of like making Nairobi home for me. And I also want to shout out one young woman in particular who really just showed me what it is to be a confident woman who knows what she wants. And that is baby Kaylin, this 2.5-year-old. Look at that face. She knows what she wants.
She knows what she wants.
Love the babies. Then, so I was like, okay, I've had my like big city cosmopolitan Nairobi experience. I want to go live in a village. What better way to do that than join the Peace Corps? Shout out to my Peace Corps friends. So I got them to place me in their most remote site, like far northwestern Benin. Literally had to take a bus like this for 2 days to get to my site. And this was my life. You know, I just love this community. I got my water from this water pump every day. I learned how to bike around these cows that were always in the pathway. I was mostly doing gardening and nutrition projects. So this mama let me use some of her land to plant a garden. But unfortunately, there are these really destructive pests called chickens that really insisted on eating my vegetables. And these acrobatic desert chickens were not fazed at all by this shoulder-high fence that we had put up. They didn't care. They would just eat my vegetables. So mostly I had a very labor-intensive like chicken feed production project, but that's okay. Mostly it was just a really amazing time of like getting to use my French that I had learned, you know, way back in France, and just getting to be part of this neighborhood and seeing, you know, how they pick cotton and picking cotton with them and helping to pack it and seeing, you know, how does the cotton industry actually work? This is, you know, this was like cotton season, and cotton is the main cash crop for the region. So yeah, I never would have imagined that like this is how cotton gets like packed, like picked and produced and shipped. Then moved back to New Hampshire with Daniel Fang, using many, many, many Post-it notes to start Oaks and Crown. Here we are.
Amazing. Oh my gosh. So that has been our journey so far. It's just been so cool to see how our like different life streams, you know, have like come and intersected at this moment in time. And so yes, again, if you want to stay for the after party, we have more photos that we can share. All right, Mickey, turning it back to you.
Awesome. We just have a few things left. Thank you guys for being with us here, supporting Dan and Skye and Oaks and Crown. We're going to transition into the offering portion, which for any expecting mother and father is the favorite part of the baby shower, the gifts. But we thought to kick off this time, we actually have a special friend with us. Her name is Tanae Freeman. I had never heard her music, but Dan forwarded me one of her songs and it was so good. So find her on every streaming platform imaginable, every social, support her music. But she's going to share with us a song that she actually wrote incorporating some of Oaks and Crown's program values. So this is a custom song, and this is a world premiere. Like, we called MTV, they couldn't make it, but this is a world premiere for this brand new song that was inspired by what Oaks and Crowns is about. And so Tanae is going to bless us with the song to kick off this time. And then I'll share a little more about how we can support Dan and Skye and this huge vision that they have to really help people in this world. And so I'm going to give you the floor, Tanae. Go ahead and share whatever you want, and then bless us with your beautiful music.
Awesome. All right. Thank you. This is exciting. Congrats, Dan and Skye. Yes, as I said, my name is Tanae, and I wrote a song that was inspired by the beautiful program values of Oaks and Crown. Thank you guys for inviting me to do so. It was a lot of fun to write. And I'm just going to play an acoustic version of it, share it with you guys. I'm really proud of y'all. I think Dan just posted the lyrics in the chat, so feel free to look at those as well. And as they were emphasizing earlier, the first value that they highlight is we bow before the Lord of Lords. So I thought it was fitting to make that the first line of the song. And it's in parentheticals, so it's kind of a call and response on that line. So wherever you are, you can just keep yourself muted and just like sing that along if you want to. Yeah, so I hope you guys like the song. And yes, thank you again for having me. Just let me know if there's anything with the audio, just throw it in the chat.
Like, when we look at history and some of the atrocities that have taken place around the world, we typically kind of define it as an era or a moment that has passed.
Sorry, 1 second.
Unmuted.
Yeah, everything is connected.
Go
like
ahead.
the present, the past, it's all interwoven. I think that.
Okay, muted.
Thank you.
All right. Sorry for that interruption.
Totally fine. This is 2021 life, Zoom life. We bow before the Lord of Lords. Assume your throne as kings and queens. Your crown awaits you, His grace
trust you to be all that He is calling you to be. We're chasing after peace. The only thing we seek is your shalom, your shalom. So come just as you are, identity secure in Christ alone, in Christ alone. You have made us rulers in your kingdom that's to come. The crown awaits us, the crown awaits. Lifting up each other as your love has lifted us. We praise your name, Lord, we praise your name. We bow before the Lord of Lords, reflecting Him creatively. We're building others up and learning how to love with a joy that lives eternally. We're chasing after peace. The only thing we seek is your shalom, your shalom. So come just as you are, identity secure in Christ alone. You have made us rulers in your kingdom that's to come. The crown awaits us, the crown awaits. Lifting up each other as your love has lifted us. We praise your name, Lord. We praise your name, your name, your name. Your crown awaits you. We're planting deep roots, deep like the oak tree. This love has anchored you securely. We sing. We sing. You have made us rulers in your kingdom that's to come. The crown awaits us, the crown awaits. Lifting up each other as your love has lifted us. We praise your name, Lord. We praise your name. Thank you all.
Wow. Thank you so much, Tanae. I don't know about y'all, but I just got saved all over again. So beautiful. Let's give it up for Tanae in any way that we can. I mean, hopefully song will be available on iTunes and Spotify in the near future. That was so beautiful. But thank you so much for sharing. During this time, you should have received an email from Oaks and Crown, from Dan and Skye, and it should be a paperless post RSVP. It should be in there in your email. And in there is going to be a form towards the giving link where you can actually respond and support Oaks and Crown. I think for Dan and Skye, I think we're all here because we really believe in them. And we really do believe that God is using them in such a powerful way in this season. And they would never do this. They would never ask you directly. So I'm going to ask you instead. I think one thing that I really do believe is that if your dream can be realized without the help of God and without the help of community, then it's not big enough. And I really do believe that the big God dreams that God is longing to awaken here on earth is a partnership between Kingdom of God and with the people around us. And so this is our opportunity to really invest in Skye and Dan and invest in the vision that God has given them for Oaks and Crown. And so why don't we partner with them in what God's doing throughout the world, specifically in Africa in this season. I think it's always special when we see the passions and the dreams of the people that we care about the most really come alive. And so this is such a special opportunity to give towards something that's truly meaningful. And I think when we do give towards something that's really meaningful to us, it feels as if it costs you nothing. And so today I want to invite you to partner with what they're doing. And so you can find that link in your email. If it isn't there, you can just click in the chat section right there for the form. And in that form, you'll see that there are many ways that you could partner with Dan and Skye and Oaks and Crown. For financial partnership, they're looking for to try to meet the goal of about 60,000 in donations this year, which if you broke it down is about 100 people supporting $50 a month. So whether you're giving like a one-time gift or a recurring gift, I think the goal that they're trying to meet for this year is 60,000. I'm believing for even more and beyond that, because we serve a really big God and you guys seem like really amazing people. And so for any of the financial donation categories, if you click the form and you submit it, they'll follow up with a link or follow up with a follow-up email or communication where you can actually give towards what they're doing. And then there's other ways, at the very least, if you can't give at this time, if you're financially strained or you're just not in that season, at the very least, and I don't mean least because it's not important, but we can pray for them. And so you can sign up to pray for them and support them. And there's many other ways that you can support what they're doing. But I really do want to emphasize the financial giving, because what they're doing is going to require money. And this is our opportunity to really support what God's doing in their lives. And so please make sure to fill that form out, make sure to comb through it and check it out. There's also their startup registry that's still online. I know a lot of people thought Dan and Skye were actually having a baby, but it's for their startup, and their startup registry you can find online as well, so you could give there. And last but not least, on that form, you'll find something called the Wall of Blessing. And this is something that we're really excited about. This is your opportunity just to write a word of encouragement or a word of blessing. And what they're going to be doing, it's kind of like when you go to an actual baby shower and you're signing like a wall, or like you're signing a card for the future baby to read. What they're going to do is they're going to compile all of these messages, and they're going to put it together in a really artsy way, and they're going to include it in their workbooks for future participants. And so people in the future that are joining the program will be able to see all of the words of encouragement that you're giving during this time. You can see all of the words of encouragement from Dan and Skye's closest friends, really just sharing their belief and their blessing for the people that are going to be going through this program. And so if you have an opportunity, go ahead and put some encouraging words, some kind words for the future students, for the future spiritual children of Dan and Skye and Oaks and Crown. And let's really support what God's doing in their hearts and doing in their lives in this season. I think it's such an awesome, wonderful opportunity to give to what God's doing in their lives. If you guys have any questions, you can reach out to them or you can throw it in the chat. But why don't we respond by filling out this form and really investing in Oaks and Crown. Awesome. Cool. So you guys can start doing that right now, or you can do it later at your own leisure. But I know it's been an hour and a half and the event was scheduled to end at 10:30. But we thought it would be good to kind of open up the floor for an open mic. If anyone has anything they want to share, maybe it's a word of encouragement to Dan and Skye, maybe it's a prayer or prophetic word, whatever you have on your heart to share. We're going to leave the floor open for a little longer, but we do want to honor your time. So if you do need to go, you can log off and just wave bye. But if you want to stick around and share some words or hear some words from close family and friends that are supporting Dan and Skye in their vision, we're going to go ahead and open up the floor right now. So if you do want to speak or share, just use the raising hand function in Zoom, and we'll go ahead and unmute you and you can share. Alex, go for it.
Hey everyone, hey Dan and Skye. For those of you who don't know me, I was Dan's roommate for 2 years in Dartmouth. So we've been keeping in touch, although not, we often find ourselves on opposite sides of the world. So it's been tough in that regard. But as I was watching and remembering just all of the checkpoints and challenges that you guys have been through, I was reminded of a couple of things that I really wanted to encourage you with. One is this whole process randomly made me think of this video on YouTube that I watched where some guy was manufacturing Damascus steel. And it was this whole involved process of taking like the original ore and then melting it and then smashing it and then folding it and then squeezing it, and like it's actually a lot. That it's like crazy how much folding and smashing and squeezing and heating and tempering that goes into Damascus steel. But the product that comes out is one of the most durable, finest, most expensive metals that have ever been conceived by mankind. And yeah, as I was listening and sort of also remembering all of the things that you two have been through, especially Dan, that was the image that God really put on my heart, was that something that is meant to last needs to go through all of those challenges, all of that fire, that folding and breaking and squeezing and tempering, and things that have impact, things that that God wants to use for the long term. They don't just explode out of nowhere. They don't just come and it's done. And I also just want to offer that encouragement as well in the long term, as you guys are, finishing up the first cohort and running into, I'm sure you'll run into all sorts of hiccups and challenges that that to make something last and to make something with a very durable and deep impact in the community, these challenges will come, but it only makes you stronger. And of course, you have all of us here helping you to navigate all of those squeezes and fires and all of that, all of those things that go into making really something that is gonna last and is eternal in this case, that eternal impact. I just wanted to offer that word of encouragement, and I'm excited to see where this goes. And it's crazy how far you guys have come, and I think our minds are going to be blown even more once we see where this goes. So yeah, God bless both of you.
Wow, thank you so much for sharing, Alex. It really does take a village. Thank you so much. If there's anyone else that wants to share, go ahead and use the raise hand function. We'll see if anyone wants to share any last words. If not, we can go ahead and close. But yeah, I really encourage y'all to share some encouragement with Dan. Roti, is that a hand raise?
Yeah, and I was looking for the function in Zoom, and for some weird reason,
go for it.
But yeah, listen, I just want to, I was actually going to do a quick screen share because I don't know if I can do that real quick. But myself and Ruki are totally really, honored to be your advisors on this journey. It's just a privilege to go on the journey of faith with you guys. And, we just wish you all the love that you have to give to the recipients of the amazing wisdom that God is going to give to you to pass on, particularly to the first and second and third and 100 cohorts that are going to happen through this. We are here to continue to support you guys. We love your the program values. I mean, I'm, as a leader, it's, when you have 7 program values, I'm like, okay, can I remember all of it at once? And so I'll say the first one, which is really bowing before the Lord of Lords. I think that, it really, truly, in being able to do that, I think that it gives us the confidence that we can truly exercise our creative confidence, because that's the posture that God gives us, right? And for us, that's how we're going to marry that, to remember that value as bowing before the Lord of Lords, because it helps us to exercise as well our creative confidences. Assuming your throne really is all about identity, right? And it means really also coming as you are. So we're going to take both of that together as, assuming our thrones and, coming together as we are, and truly pursuing shalom, right, is governing. It's, making sure that, in love and justice. And you can't do that without making others successful, right? And so again, for that, we will take those values to heart and be delightful, right, in all of it, to bring it all together. So fantastic values. We will leave it as your advisors, and we will support it in every way we can. So thanks for this beautiful event. Congratulations.
Thank you so much, Roti.
You guys. I was so happy to see Baby on the call earlier.
Oh, thank you so much, Roti. Is there anyone else that would like to share? Yes, Caroline.
Hello, everyone. My name is Caroline Kamau tuning from Nairobi, Kenya. Hi, Dan and Skye. I'd just like to say congratulations for finally launching Ox and Crown, yeah? And I'm so glad that you involved me at the inception, when you were having the first interview, and even calling me to be part of faculty for one of the sessions in cohort 1. It's really a privilege, and I'm so happy that you finally made up your mind on what you want this to look like, and even found a very cool name for it. So that's why I'm wearing my Egyptian-inspired crown. Yeah. Yeah. So my wish to you is just to remember that it will be very easy for you guys, because we're getting all our strength from Christ, and just like Philippians, is it 4:13? Yeah, says, I can do all these through Christ who strengthens me, or Jeremiah 33:3 that says, call unto me and I will show you great and mighty things. Yeah. So it will be very easy for you. It will not be hard, because God got you. Yeah. So that's why it should be easy. So don't confess that it will be hard. Just remember, God got me, Christ got me. So this will be easy. And I wish you all the best.
Thank you so much, Caroline. Thank you.
Wow, thank you so much for sharing, Caroline. All right, I think we're gonna wrap it up. If you guys do have any other words that you would like to share, you can go ahead and message them directly or throw it in the chat. Y'all should screenshot this, it's amazing. But we thought we could just end in a closing word of prayer, just praying a blessing over Dan and Skye. So would you pray with me and just come into agreement? And God, we just thank you so much for Dan and Skye and this vision for Oaks and Crown. We thank you, God, that you have put this dream on their hearts. This is not something that they came up with on their own, but this is something that you've planted deep within their hearts, that you've been cultivating throughout their entire lives. And we thank you that this season we get to be witnesses of the growth and the genesis and the fruitfulness of this dream that you have planted from the very beginning. And so we're just so honored to partner with them and with you in bringing so much mentorship to people in Africa and throughout the world. We just thank you so much that you're going to use them powerfully. We know that you're going to provide. We know that you're going to make a way where there seems to be no way. You're going to open all the doors. You're going to bring all the sons and daughters, and they're going to be kings and queens that rule here in Shalom with you. And so we just bless them. This is our seal of amen over their endeavor, over their organization, over everything that they do. May they be successful. people. May they find so much fruitfulness, long-lasting fruit in everything that they put their hands to. We love you, God. We thank you for this time. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
That's it for our startup shower. Dan, Skye, any parting words?
Thank you all so much for coming. This has just been so meaningful for us to celebrate this moment with all of you. Yeah, we just really wanted to have this moment with like our dearest friends and family to really launch this with. And so thank you so much for being here with us.
Yeah, we just love all of you. I can't wait to hug everyone as soon as we're allowed.
Yeah, so thank you so much. And yeah, hope to share lots more exciting updates in the future. Cool, awesome. Well, thank you all so much. And yeah, hope we can all be in touch soon. All right. Thanks, everyone.
Well done, guys. Bye-bye. Nice to meet everyone.
Thank you. All right. Bye, everyone.
Bye.